Would you like to know how to engage and lead your team successfully? This is the #1 question I get asked by my executive coaching clients and audience members, and it's today's topic on the Solutions Oriented Leader podcast. I'm Dr. Rick Goodman, leadership, team building, and business growth expert and author of the book, The Solutions Oriented Leader. Learning how to engage and lead your team successfully to lead to more productive employees, motivated employees, and creates a happy work environment. And I'm here to tell you that effective leadership isn't something that you can achieve overnight. In fact, it's something you can spend an entire lifetime mastering. And the best leaders know that providing vision and motivation to a team isn't something you ever perfect, but it's rather an area for continuous improvement. The real question is, where do we begin? That's what I'd like to discuss with you today. Whether you've just been promoted into a leadership role, you're launching your own company, or you want to learn how to engage and lead your team successfully, there are some steps you can take to get started today. So I'm going to share with you 7 key steps to engage and lead your team. #1, know your leadership style. The first step is self-assessment. Before you think about the needs of your team, think about your strengths and weaknesses, the ones you bring to the table. Think about how you like to receive information and how you best communicate. Think about whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. Ask yourself what really motivates you and try to put together a basic picture of your leadership style. I highly recommend spending a few days reviewing these points, talking to people who know you well, and even trying to write down a clear vision of your team leadership style. #2, make time to lead. As a leader, you already have a lot of responsibilities on your plate. It's critical that you create time and opportunities to be visible to your team members, offering your support. This might mean that you actually allocate some time in your day to walk the floor, to have office hours, to take employees to lunch, or to do something else that allows you to invest time in the people you're leading. Without that time investment, you're just not going to have an effective team leadership style. #3, know your people. As you make the time to be engaged with your team, make sure you're getting to know each and every one of them. Try to determine what motivates each employee and where each employee has strengths or weaknesses. Leadership often means assembling various pluses and minuses like puzzle pieces, pairing employees who make each other stronger or who make up for each other's weaknesses. It also means knowing how to select the right person for any given role or project. All of this requires some real knowledge of your team. #4, communicate. That is the most important word that you need to know. The one word is going to be so important in your role as a leader. Indeed, for anyone who wants to know how to be a leader in the workplace, you've got to be clear in your communication. Set your expectations. Be clear about the mission and purpose. Let employees know how they can connect with you and when. It's always better to over-communicate than to under-communicate. #5, set an example. Even in those moments when you're not actively communicating, you are being watched. Like it or not, your team members look to you as an example, and they will be quick to emulate your behavior. Do you want to have a company culture that's marked by a sense of balance for your employees to clock out at 6 each afternoon so they can go home and be with their families? Then you need to make sure you're not in the office at all hours of the night. Show them the kind of culture and the kind of values you want them to uphold. #6, delegate. Something that all leaders need to do is delegate. Don't assume you can do it all yourself. Trust the people to step up and do great work, freeing some of your time to lead. If you can't trust the people you've enlisted, then it's hard to justify whether they're on your team at all. Learn to share your responsibilities with others. Also make sure you surround yourself with good people. #7, decide to be an effective leader. You ultimately have to make some decisions. It's always important to review the available data, do some critical thinking, and make a wise decision. What you can't do is agonize over every last decision that needs to be made to the point where you're simply wasting time. Sometimes you'll get it right, and when you do, you should celebrate. And sometimes you'll get it wrong. When you do, be sure to learn from it. I know that when you implement these 7 strategies, you will be on your way to engaging and leading your team successfully. This is Dr. Rick Goodman with the Solutions Oriented Leader podcast saying go out there and make it happen. Engage and lead. That's your purpose.